What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the 50th episode of the Box Office Dynasty podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Josh.
We have a jam-packed episode for you guys, as always. We're going to go over some news. Josh is going to put me on the stand, which I'm kind of nervous for. He's going to do some 50th anniversary, on the stand, some questions for me. We're going to pick a new Bible study number out of our essential book of movies. Pretty awesome. Box office numbers as well, and then we're going to review some movies, the Super Mario Galaxy movie and the drama, and then go over a shitload of trailers at the end of the episode, and then end it off as usual with our seesaw. How you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good. I don't know if you realize this. So, speaking of, it's our 50th episode. We just passed our 1-year anniversary of the podcast. I don't know if you realize that, and if you had, and if I had realized it, we definitely would have addressed it last episode. The 49th episode came out on the exact 1-year anniversary to the day of the first episode's release, April 1st.
Oh, I
didn't realize that either until the episode was out. And I was like, shit, we definitely would have said something if we had known. Like, we knew we were coming up.
Dude.
It was an April Fool's
prank.
This whole show has been an April Fool's prank for everybody, essentially. I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited for this episode. The weather's getting warm. I'm feeling good this week.
Before we get into everything, got to make our money. Quick ad break. I just want to say, gotta shout out the sponsor of the episode, W Energy. If you want clean energy with no jitters, no crash, to help you lock in, focus with 15 awesome flavors, go to W Energy and get some energy drinks. Use code BOXOFFICE to get 10% off your order and enjoy that sugary rush that you're going to feel after you have some W Energy. So shout out to them.
We're sellouts, man. But everybody's a sellout. It's fine.
Poor.
We're poor. We need money. Yeah. All right. Super exciting times. We have a lot of energy ourselves as we're going to embark on this episode. As Jack said, it is our 50th episode, which is a really, honestly, huge milestone, I would say.
It is huge. It's like most podcasts, I think it was like 85% of podcasts burn out before the 10th episode or something.
I remember that. I remember when we got to our 10th episode, we're like, wow, we haven't burned out yet. And here we are at 50. We're halfway to 100 episodes. And we're not burned out just yet. We're probably getting there. I mean, now we already have a sponsor, right? So, clearly we're getting there. No, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed doing this. And so I thought, in honor of our 50th episode, now I would put you back on the stand. We don't usually put each other on the stand these days.
We haven't done it in a while, no.
We usually save it for like guests, or new people come on to get to know them. But I thought I would rework it to give you a little bit of Box Office Dynasty trivia to see what you can recall from our first, 49 episodes.
Oh, I'm going to be so bad at this.
You probably will be, but because I would be too. Like, no shame. Like, I definitely wouldn't get a bunch of these either. But I got pretty creative with the questions. I have 16 of them. They're not like long-winded, so that's why it shouldn't take too long, but we're going to work through these. Are you ready to be on the stand?
I'm ready. I played the fifth,
BOD edition.
This is BOD history. This is a piece of BOD history right here.
You plead the 50th, actually.
I plead the 50th.
Okay, question number 1. Some of these are easy, some are hard, so this first one I think is pretty easy. Where and when did the name Box Office Dynasty originate from?
Well, we were in college, and I don't know when. I think it was junior year because we were with our buddy Andre, and we were always talking movies, and this was when we were watching Falcon and Winter Soldier and Invincible, and we were like, we need to talk about this professionally. We need to get paid for doing this and do it for other people. And then we just thought of like Dynasty because it's cool, and then Box Office because it's related to movies. We're like, we need something related to movies and something cool.
The Dynasty part was literally that. It was like, this is cool. Like, this is very like regal. So we should definitely do that. All right. Number 2, what is the name of our very first episode?
Mac and Cheese and New Beginnings.
Yup, there you go. We were just talking about your mac and cheese take the other day with some of our other friends, actually.
Yeah.
It's still 50 episodes in. I still think that it's a crazy take. But
my punishment next time we do like a trivia or a on the stand or anything like that, we should genuinely have a punishment where I have to eat mac and cheese if I get like more than half wrong, and then you have
Okay.
to something for you. Like you have to do something. I
Yeah,
don't know. You
that's
have
a
to
good
shave your
idea.
beard or something. Like
Man, I feel like that's not equal ground. I don't know. Shave the beard, eat mac and
it could grow
cheese.
back. I can never
How
get rid
about
of that.
how about I have to eat mac and cheese too?
Yeah, after I shit it out, maybe.
Okay. Question number 3. How many times has Killian been on the podcast?
Oh, that's a good one. All right, there was the Jurassic World one. There was the one I was missing. There was the Emmys, and I think he was here for some Oscar talk. I'm gonna go 4.
Ding, ding, ding. It is
Let's
4, and
go.
you got them all right. It was the Jurassic World episode. It was the Emmy episode. It was when the Oscar nominations came out, and then it was the episode where he filled in for you 4 times.
Not bad so far.
You're on a roll. You're 3 for 3. This might be where you get one wrong, but I don't know. I think this one's still kind of on the easier side. Question 4. What is the longest episode and what is the shortest episode? You don't have to give me the run times, obviously, but what's the longest and what's the shortest?
Well, I know exactly. The longest one is the one I was missing from, and that's when you, Matt, and Killian were talking.
We're yapping.
You guys were yapping, and then the shortest one is our first episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The longest episode, our Jackless episode, is 3 hours and 10 minutes. And Mac and Cheese and New Beginnings, our first episode, is only 1 hour and 4 minutes. Can you imagine if we ever made an episode that short again?
I can't believe that we even did that once.
It will, because we didn't know what to do. We're like, okay, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, see ya.
Bouncing off that one, this one is more just a speculative guess on your part. It's not something you would know, but I think it's a fun fact. How much time do you think it would take for someone to listen to all of our episodes so far?
Did you have it all added up?
I calculated this just so I could see.
I'm gonna say 126 hours.
All right, I have it written down a little differently, so I don't know what that equates to. I have it as 3 days, 19 hours, and 14 minutes. That is how long the first 49 episodes add up to.
19 hours?
Yeah, so it's almost 4 days worth of content.
So that's 91 hours and 14 minutes?
Yeah, so it's a little less. So you overshot, but
Well,
that
I
was
figured 49. I feel like every episode's almost 2 hours, but I guess they're not because they're all around like 1:30, really. So I did overshoot.
Right. Recently,
right.
they've been like 2 hours, but
yeah, I did.
majority.
Most of them in the middle are like 1:30, 1:20.
I knew you wouldn't like know that. I just wanted to get that fun fact out there.
I almost said like 150, dude. I was thinking like an hour, 150 hours.
Not yet. Question 6. Name every game we have played on the podcast so far. So I will say it doesn't, like Seesaw doesn't count. Stuff like that.
Can you tell me
count.
how many there are?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Does Taking the Stand count?
Yes.
Taking the Stand, Tower of Categories.
Yep.
Oh no. The football draft, are you counting that?
No, drafts and rankings don't count.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm blanking. Oh my god.
You came up with 2 of the others.
I can't even remember. Oh my god. You said there's 6?
5, I'm sorry.
There's 5? I have 2. I don't know. I'm blanking. I have no idea.
That's okay. You want me to give
yeah,
up?
what is it? Yeah.
So you said Taking the Stand and Tower of Categories. There's Versus.
Oh, Versus, okay.
Which you brought to us. Then the one I brought to the table, Fill in the Box. We haven't really done it that much.
Yes,
we did it a
you're
couple
right.
times.
Yeah.
And then Over Under.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah. So
oh man,
5.
we should play those more often.
It's just we've been so busy. There's
I
been
know.
so much going on.
So much happening.
Question 7. You don't have to give me the exact numbers, just the episodes. Which episode has the most streams on Spotify, and which episode has the most views on YouTube?
Our first episode has the most views on YouTube, and How to Train Your Nuanced Space Dragon has the most Spotify streams.
You're half correct.
I got the first one wrong.
You got the first one wrong. It's actually one of the biggest surprises of all of these questions. The most views on YouTube. You looked like you wanted to take one more stab at it.
Because I had a second choice. Is it the most important group project in the universe?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. All right.
It's 76, the episode that Brandon came on to talk about The
Really?
Last of Us. It has over 100 views on YouTube. It's our only episode to reach that. And you're also sort of half right with the Spotify. It's a 3-way tie between How to Train Your Nuance Space Dragon, Fantastic Four and Emmy Galore, and Yearn for the Chicken Jockey.
Okay, that was our second episode.
That was our second episode.
Wow.
Question 8. What is the first film we ever reviewed on the show? And what is the first show we ever reviewed on the show?
I don't think we reviewed any movies the first episode. So I'm going to say Minecraft movie is the first film we ever reviewed. And the first show we ever reviewed, is it Daredevil Born Again?
You got the show. It is Daredevil Born Again Season 1. We did review one movie the first week, and by we, I mean you. You gave us your thoughts on Snow White, the live-action adaptation.
Oh my god, I forgot that was the first episode.
So, Snow White and Daredevil Born Again Season 1.
But
You're
as a
really
unifying, as a united force,
as
Minecraft.
together, it was Minecraft. But the first film that any of us did was Snow White.
What a great way to start the podcast.
I know, right? I'm surprised anyone stuck around. Question 9. What 4 films did we collectively review on the episode Leonardo DiCaprio and a whole lot of reviews? There are 4 of them.
Can you tell me when that episode came out?
It was in June. I'll give you that. It was last June.
Is it? It's not was Mission Impossible one of them?
No, that was like one of its own. That got its own episode.
Dude, I don't know if I can get any of these. It's not Sinners that came out earlier. Shit.
No shame if you can't, because
one battle after another.
No.
Why the hell's Leonardo DiCaprio in the title?
I don't remember, actually.
I can't get any of these. I have no idea.
It was Ballerina, Materialists, The Life of Chuck, and Predator Killer of Killers. We each did 2.
Yeah, we did. Oh, wow.
This next one is easier. Question 10 of 16. Which 2 presidents help us decide things on this podcast?
Martin Van Buren and William Henry Harrison?
Yep. 8 and 9.
Marty I was like,
Willie.
Willie. I was like, who's Willie?
Who's Willie, huh? Yes, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, who are, of course, with us today to celebrate the anniversary.
They're always with us.
They're always with us every week. Question 11. Name as many of the Bible study films that we have watched as you can.
That's so good. Okay, I'm just going to randomly... All right, Get Out, Mad Max Fury Road, La Adelante, The Great Dictator, Boat People.
There's 16, by the way.
Fat City.
Mm-hmm.
The Jazz Singer. There's the one I forgot. It was the one I hated. It had like a Spanish name. I'm never going to remember that.
I'll give it to you. Amores Perros.
Amores Perros. That's 9. Being John Malkovich.
Yep.
10.
Dude, if you get all of these, you're kind of goated.
I'm not getting all of these because I'm losing it. There's another one that's kind of like in the mix of La Adelante. It's like right. Oh, fuck! I don't know their names. It's Ted and something and Alice.
Yeah. Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice.
Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. The Americanization of Emily.
Dude, I think you only have like 3 more. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these.
4 more.
I don't know if I can get these. I think I have to give up. I have to wave the
That's
white
still
flag.
really impressive, though. I don't even know if I would have gotten all those. You missed 4. Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
All About Eve. Shock Corridor. And M.
I liked most of those too, actually.
Yeah, I think M was probably your favorite of those four, actually.
Definitely, yeah. And Ben-Hur
Yeah.
was pretty good. I like Shock Corridor too.
Yeah. So, all right. And we'll be adding a new one to that this week as well.
That's right.
Question, where were we? 12. It's similar to that other one, so you probably won't get it. What
Great.
4 films did we collectively review on the episode And Horst? And this doesn't include Bob and Carol and Ted
Damn
and
it.
Alice, by the way.
That was the one I was gonna get. When did that episode come out?
November.
Zootopia 2?
Yep.
Did I do K-pop Demon Hunters?
No.
No.
That might have been a seesaw, but
maybe.
No.
Oh no. November. I'm going 1 for 4. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's okay. It's better than the other.
I know.
This is the only other one of these types that I have, by the way. So don't worry.
There's tough.
The other one was Hamnet, Sentimental Value. So 2 of the Oscar films, and then Eternity. You reviewed Eternity that week.
Forgot that even came out last year.
Question 13 of 16. What film did I get a commemorative mirror with when I saw it at the theater?
Oh my god, it was something that didn't make any sense for why it came with a mirror. Was
You're
it?
right.
It's an Oscar movie or no?
No.
What? Oh. Is it animated?
No.
We talked about it. I don't remember. I have no idea. What is it?
It was Wuthering Heights.
Oh,
I got this mirror right here.
Yeah.
With Wuthering Heights.
I mean, really, what the fuck?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I was like, what the fuck? And then it broke, like, on the episode.
Fair.
Question 14. You and I each ranked our top 5 favorite mothers and fathers of television for Mother's Day and Father's Day. Who was, not the whole list, obviously, that's crazy. Who was your number 1 mother and father, and then who was my number 1 mother and father?
Well, your mother was from a show I've never even watched, right?
Yeah, but you've definitely heard of the show.
But I'm not.
You've never watched it.
I'm not gonna remember the name of that show.
Can you at least get yours? I'll say that much. Can you at least get what your number 1s were?
My father, is it Phil Dunphy?
No, I think he was on your list.
He was definitely on the list. Is it? Your dad was Bill Cosby, right? His best one.
Dude, that out of context sounds so bad. Oh, your dad was Bill Cosby, right?
Yeah, you're adopted. No, it's only TV, right?
It was TV. Yeah,
I know you had a list because you had Fran from Malcolm in the Middle, or whatever her name is. I think it was Fran. I'm gonna say my mother. Wait, was yours Kitty from That 70s Show?
No, but that's a good pull because she was on the list. That's a good pull.
I can't get any of this. I'm so bad. My mother was Marge Simpson.
No, I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know any of them.
Your mother was Debbie from Invincible.
Oh my god, I should have done that.
Your number 1 father was Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Damn it, those are so good. I'm so good at this. Those are such good answers.
And then my number 1 mother, you were right, it was from the Brady Bunch, Carol Brady. And my number 1 father was also an uncle, Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But that was fun. Maybe this year we'll do like movie versions because we did TV last year. So maybe this year for Mother's and Father's Day we'll do movies.
That was fun because those are good answers.
2 more questions left. Number 15. What was each of our first seesaw? Our first ever seesaw.
Dude, I was doing so well at the beginning, and now I'm just...
You were.
I can't even...
I'll tell you what, the last question, number 16, is very easy, though.
Your seesaw...
For what it's worth, when I got the answers, when I went to go put the answers down, I would not have gotten these either. So
what I want to see was Avengers Doomsday.
No.
No? Okay.
It was not. We did talk about Doomsday that episode, though.
What I saw was Mission Impossible rewatch.
No.
Okay. What you want to see is you wanted to see uh Sinners. You were very excited about that.
I was, but that wasn't the answer.
And what you saw was, I think you watched, you probably watched reruns of the Brady Bunch.
What?
No? What are they?
My seesaw, I had just seen season 2 of Severance.
Okay.
Because we had just came out with it at the time. And I wanted to see season 3 of Reacher, which I did end up seeing.
Yeah.
And then you saw the film Death of a Unicorn.
I saw that in theaters, yeah.
And you wanted to see Happy Gilmore because the second one was coming out and you're in the second one. So you wanted to see the first one.
Well, I'm supposed to be in the second one.
I don't know how it is. We'll see. Okay. Final question. This one is easy because it's the same for both of us. What was our favorite film of 2025 and what is both of our most anticipated film of 2026?
I love this. Our favorite film of 2025 was Sinners, and our most anticipated film of 2026 was, and still is, The Odyssey.
Yes, it is. Probably the two films that we have talked about or at least mentioned the most on this show.
I was thinking about this the other day. First of all, that was a lot of fun. That was good. I think I did.
I'm glad
okay.
you liked it.
I did okay.
You did pretty well. I will say I'm very impressed with you getting most of the Bible study films off the top of your head.
Yeah, I was getting nervous.
12 of 16.
Next, one day I'll give you a themed Taking the Stand. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this the other day. We had Sinners as our favorite movie of 2025, and I was like, oh, obviously we're gonna have The Odyssey. But you love Project Hail Mary so much that could possibly be your favorite movie of 2026. And Spider-Man Brand New Day, if it's as good as I hope it is, then that has a chance to be my favorite movie of 2026. We might differ this year, but maybe we'll both pick The Odyssey anyway.
I mean, look, what were the odds that we would have the same favorite film any year? So
I know.
The fact that our first year doing this, we both had Sinners as
it would just be cool if it was Sinners
and
and then The Odyssey, and we just had like a tradition that we had our favorite films.
I was just talking about this actually with Matt the other day. Shout out Matt. There are only 4 movies still to come out this year that I think have a chance at topping Project Hail Mary as my favorite of the year.
Okay.
The Odyssey, Dune Part 3. I think those two go without saying. They could. And then I was also Godzilla Minus Zero, the sequel to Godzilla Minus One, could be number 1. It could.
That could be. It was my number 1 or number 2 of 2023 or whatever came out.
Yeah, it was in my top 5 for sure. It was probably top 3. And then this one is the least likely, but I'll never not give him the benefit of the doubt, and that is Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
That is definitely, it is possible.
You can't rule him
out.
My
favorite. I cannot rule that one out. He could be my favorite of the year. So
2026, I'm so hyped.
That is the 50th episode version of Taking the Stand. I do think you did pretty well. Some of the questions were difficult, but it is fun to just go through these 16 questions and just reminisce about some of the, just some of our episodes that we have had and the past year, what we've done. And it's been a lot of fun.
That was cool. That was a lot of fun. Let's move on. We're going to do some news nuggets.
Yeah, so I know you got one. I only have a couple as well, but why don't you go first?
I got one just in case because you might take it. So I'll say one. Let me just get to it real quick. All right,
that's the thing. You always have to go first because I might always have.
Because I always have one, so it's like.
Yeah.
All right, some news. Luke Cage and Iron Fist and all the Defenders are coming back for Daredevil Born Again Season 3. Finn Jones as Iron Fist and Luke Cage, Mike Coulter, have been seen filming for Daredevil Born Again Season 3 with Kristen Ritter, who plays Jessica Jones. So we're getting a Defenders reunion in Born Again with all the old cast. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know people didn't love that version of Iron Fist, right? So like this is an opportunity for them to kind of move past that, but they're obviously and I didn't have this one down, by the way, but I did see this. They're obviously Marvel's embracing the Netflix era of their television shows. And even if these characters aren't going to all get their own shows again, and I don't think we're going to see another Luke Cage show or an Iron Fist show. Maybe Jessica Jones, maybe, but I don't know.
I doubt it.
So, this is kind of the opportunity for them to bring them back. They definitely have their audience and their fan base. It should be interesting. Yeah, I need to catch up on the latest episode of or however many are out with Born Again season 2. I've only seen the first still.
There's 3 out now, and then one comes
Uh,
out on Wednesday or
the,
Tuesday.
I was catching up on Invincible. I'm almost caught up on that. I just need to watch the newest episode.
You gotta catch up.
I watched the first 4, and then I'm trying to get through other stuff. There's just television is kind of all over the place right now. There's
It's
so
getting
much.
packed right now. But the thing is, people love Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, and he's great. And I think people give Finn Jones a bad rap. Iron Fist season 1 was ass, but apparently there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff where Finn Jones only got like a couple months to prepare for the character, like, or a couple weeks or whatever. He didn't get enough time to prepare. Season 2 of Iron Fist was such an upgrade from season 1, where he actually got to be in character and understand the character. And I think if we give him time and the right material, Iron Fist could be a really great character in this world. So I have high hopes. I didn't think he was miscast at all as Danny Rand.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. I didn't really watch, like, he had a show, right? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched both seasons of Iron Fist. I didn't finish Luke Cage, and I didn't finish Jessica Jones, but all those characters are fantastic. I'm glad they get a chance to come back, and especially Finn Jones gets a chance to redeem himself, because it really wasn't his fault. So hopefully, good things to come.
That's a fair take. Keeping it in the Marvel ring, Marvel is reportedly considering moving the Avengers Doomsday release date up 1 week to December 11th. This is in an effort to avoid the same release date as Dune Part 3 and to be able to utilize the IMAX screens for 1 week before Dune takes them. We have talked about this a bit in the past. Obviously this big, battle of 2 giants coming out in the same week. Dune obviously secured the IMAX exclusivity window before Avengers Doomsday, and that is a big piece of the financial pie for Marvel to be leaving on the table. So if they do move it up a week, they can take advantage of having those screens all to themselves without even competing with Dune. And it could be better for both, because if Avengers is already out for a week, Dune, which Dune is not going to make more money than Avengers anyway, but it could be a boost to Dune's opening weekend because it'll be the only new movie, so this could be a win-win for everyone. That spot is now open with Jumanji 3 moving to Christmas Day because it knows it's going to get fucking squashed by both films.
Destroyed.
So anyway, we'll see if that comes to fruition. Could be interesting. We'll be on the lookout.
I like that, man. I'm down for that, because it'd be such a shame if we didn't get to see both those movies in IMAX. So if the fans get to see both of them in IMAX, then we win no matter what.
Right. We win because we get to see, everyone gets what they want in the end, right? I don't think Marvel needs to be so stubborn on sticking to this release date, because they know they'll outperform Dune from a box office standpoint, but that is still a significant piece of money to leave on the table that Dune will get all to itself, because IMAX is the premier choice these days for moviegoers and the premier format. So
for A-listers, man.
Yeah, for you and I. Hey, did you see the TikTok where the people stand up and they wave into the crowd?
And thank you to our A-listers. Everyone stands up
yep,
you're welcome.
Yep,
no problem.
You're welcome.
That's us, bro.
All right. A couple others. This is an update on a news nugget last week. It's a very sad one. Ryan Gosling will no longer star in the new film from the Daniels, the directors behind Everything Everywhere All at Once, reportedly due to scheduling conflicts. So I was very excited. I'm still very excited for the movie, but just 1 week after we find out he's gonna be in it, we find out he's not gonna be in it. So just an update there, I guess.
Yeah, I had seen that.
Another thing, the live-action Elden Ring movie has begun pre-production. Sets are currently being built. The film will be directed by Alex Garland, who did Warfare, he did do Warfare, but Civil War, and it will be produced by A24. I've never really delved too much into the Elden Ring games or anything, but I know there's a large fan base out there. So
yeah, I've never played them. I have a couple friends who played Elden Ring, and I think they're really good from what I've heard. But I like video game adaptations recently, man. I mean, we'll get into the Mario stuff, but right. I don't know if they make it right. A24 is a trustworthy studio. I mean, we've been getting a lot of good video game stuff recently, and it might get people into the game. If I watch this, I'm like, shit, I might want to play this game.
It's kind of like Fallout, on Amazon, where it's
Fallout.
Like maybe you don't really play the game, but then you watch it, and it's such an immersive, well-made show that it makes you want to play the games.
The Last of Us season 1, at least.
See, and the first couple episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
And the last thing I have is just a little fun one. The Artemis 2 crew, which, as everyone knows, is the astronauts who went to space to travel around the moon and come back. They got to watch Project Hail Mary early while they were in quarantine ahead of their mission to space. I just thought that was really fun. I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
That's cool.
I mean, it's great. It's like the craziest marketing for Project Hail Mary that at the same time this movie is dominating in theaters, we have a manned mission to the moon.
Dude, it's insane. My mom was on a flight to Florida, or leaving Florida, and she saw the Artemis rocket launching as she was in the plane.
Really? That's cool.
So you guys saw the video. It's literally launching off into the sky as she's in the plane.
Killian and Sydney, they also got to see it because they live in Florida, and they got to see it from where they're at. They actually could see the rocket launch. So
I don't know anything about space travel or science or anything like this, and I don't even know if this is true, but it's something I read in passing, and I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to mention it. So don't quote me on this, but I heard that the Artemis 2 crew discovered astrophage in real life, or I don't know if that's true or not.
Dude, that can't be true. There is no way that is true.
I don't know if that's true.
Are we sending them to Adrian next? Is that what's gonna happen?
Wait, but could it possibly be true?
I mean, anything could be true. You know what I mean? I get when you put it that way.
Maybe it didn't happen. Oh wait, now I'm looking it up. That's not true. That was like a fucking idiot. That was like a fucking dipshit.
You fucking dumbass. You think that they found real... Astrophage would mean that they found life outside of Earth.
Oh, that's
It would be the biggest news
That's
ever.
true.
We would have opened up the whole show with that.
Maybe that was maybe I saw that on April 1st.
You're like, well, I read it on... I saw it on Reddit. So
I saw it on Reddit on April Fool's Day in the Project Hail Mary
April Fool's
Reddit.
Day on an April
subreddit.
Fool's subreddit. So that's weird.
So
that's all I got. Nothing too crazy, but just some fun. We're having a good time this week. The vibes are great, man. 50
the vibes
episodes.
are always
Let's
great,
go.
dude. You know what's even
episodes.
more fun is picking a Bible study number.
It is. Yep. Let's do it,
dude. We are picking a number out of the New York Times 1000 Essential Movies to See. Basically, what we do is we ask you guys to comment a random number, and we spin a wheel, and hopefully we land on your number. You never know. And we have to watch and review that movie. Sometimes it's 2 movies. Last time we had to do Mad Max and Mad Max Fury Road. This week, we are picking a new number. So I'm going to spin the wheel, pick a new number. We have lots of options. Look at all these options for numbers. Lots of choices. I'm going to spin it. Here we go. And then we'll announce what movie we're watching. Hopefully not something shitty.
I wonder when we're going to get one of the ones on the back cover.
The winner, that'd be cool. The winner is 999.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a great number. That's a great one. What are we working with?
Okay.
We are watching The Shooting Party from 1985. Never heard of it, but you're going to give a little description of what this is.
The Shooting Party. It is, this is the description. It was directed by Alan Bridges. It stars James Mason, Edward Fox, Dorothy Tootin, and John Gielgud. I know John Gielgud. 1913, shortly before the outbreak of World War I, a group of aristocrats gathers at the estate of Sir Randolph Nettleby for a weekend shoot. As the terminal decrepitude of a dying class is reflected in the social interactions and hypocrisy of its members, only world-weary Sir Randolph seems to realize that the sun is setting. Okay, we'll check it out.
This movie?
98 minutes. 98
Oh,
minutes.
let's go.
You know that it's going to be maybe not the greatest movie when it doesn't have a thumbnail cover photo on Letterboxd above
Oh, really?
It. Yeah. Like, look, it doesn't have one of those at the top, a banner. It just has
So how many reviews? It probably doesn't have that many reviews.
61 reviews on Letterboxd. It will be 62 and 63.
That's insane, actually. That's so funny.
That kind of makes it a little more exciting because
That
it's
is more
like, all
exciting.
right, no one really watches this. So let's see.
We'll be some of the first 100 people to review it on Letterboxd.
So in 2 episodes, Jack and I will be rating and reviewing The Shooting Party. Thank you to whoever commented 999. So I believe in the past 2 weeks, Jack, I just need to point this out. We have done 666 and 999.
That's true. We did. That is
something. That's a little creepy.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to get like an exorcism of our show here.
Splash holy water on you.
Well, Easter was just this past Sunday, so
hey, and Passover. Shout out you.
Thank you. All right, so that is the Bible study. Like I said, please comment numbers, and thank you to whoever has commented. Keep them coming, and we will reluctantly watch them. Moving on to the box office numbers of our 50th episode, and we got some good box office numbers to get through, so let's get right into it. These are your box office numbers for the weekend of April 3rd through the 5th. We're getting into April. In 5th place, in its 4th weekend of release, making another $2.2 million, is Reminders of Him, the Colleen Hoover film. Surprisingly, still in that top 5.
I can't believe it's still in there.
It's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying Reminders of Him on this podcast still. In 4th place, in its 5th weekend of release, making $5.8 million, is the Pixar original film Hoppers. So despite some big competition, Hoppers is able to maintain its presence. It is almost at $150 million domestically. It is at $332 million worldwide, so it is a big success.
Nice.
In 3rd place, in its opening weekend of release, making $14.3 million, is the new film The Drama, starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. This movie will take a break here for a second. Not only did it make $14.3 million domestically, it made over $26 million worldwide in its opening weekend. This puts it at the 3rd largest opening for an A24 film of all time.
Wow.
Behind Civil War, which I just mentioned with Alex Garland, and Marty Supreme. So this is a massive opening and a massive success for The Drama. I didn't write down what its budget was, so I didn't see that, but it has to have already made it back. So this is going to be a big, big win for this movie. In 2nd place, in its 3rd weekend of release, with another $30.6 million, is Project Hail Mary. Speaking of which, that film is now at $420 million worldwide. It is tracking to become one of the biggest non-franchise films of the last decade. And because it only cost between $190 and $200 million to produce, this is a big, big financial success for who was the studio that actually made Project Hail Mary? For Amazon. That's right. Amazon MGM is probably their biggest film of all time. It could finish around $700 million. Like, that's massive.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
I don't think anyone expected that when this movie came out. So congrats to them. And of course, in 1st place in its opening weekend of release, with no surprise whatsoever, just shy of $131 million domestically, is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Say what you want about, whether it was good or not. We'll get into that. But it is a win. It is a big, big win for Nintendo, for Illumination, and Universal Pictures. Let's just dive into some of the details of the numbers real quick. It had the biggest... By the way, this movie came out on a Wednesday. It wasn't a traditional Friday release.
Yeah.
I assume it has to do with the Easter weekend.
Probably.
That's usually the one... Like, Jurassic World Rebirth came out on a Wednesday, and it was the 4th of July weekend. So I think it just has to do with that. It made $34.5 million domestically on its first day alone. That tops Project Hail Mary and the first Mario movie, so that's the biggest opening day of the year so far. It is also the best Wednesday in the month of April in the history of the box office. So massive numbers. It earned $24.6 million on Thursday alone, and its global total from these 5 days is nearing $372.5 million, making it the third biggest opening ever for an animated film.
I mean, this is $1 billion movie. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, absolutely. This movie, the first one, I think, made $1 billion. So
yeah, it did.
This one is well on its way to making $1 billion and being the first movie of 2026 to hit the $1 billion mark. And Jack, we always have fun. We call it our Billy Watch. We're going to keep track of this movie over the next couple of weeks because there really isn't a ton of competition throughout the rest of April.
No, nothing that big.
Especially
there's some small stuff, but nothing that big.
Yeah, especially for this target audience, kids
Exactly.
and families. And so Super Mario Galaxy already at getting close to $400 million worldwide, 372.5. It could double that by next week, and in a few weeks, in a month, we could be looking at $1 billion.
When does Moana come out? The live action Moana? Is that June or is that May?
Let's look. It's not April, so
because that's the only thing that could possibly change. I mean, we saw the live action Lilo and Stitch. That was the first billion of 2025.
That doesn't come out until July 10th.
Oh, then
so
there's no competition.
I mean, Mario will have obviously subsided by then.
Yeah,
so
come and gone.
So this is going to be just from like I said, from a financial standpoint, this is going to be the biggest film of the year.
Yeah,
so far. It already is the biggest film of the year, I would say, so far, even though it hasn't made the most money yet.
I think until Spider-Man comes out, this is going to be. All right, let's make some predictions right now.
Okay.
I'm going to, in order, because I think there's really an obvious 4. What are the top 4 movies, box office wise, in order of 2026? What do you think is going to be the top 4 money-making movies of this year?
I would say that's a great question. I would say Avengers Doomsday will make the most money.
So that's number 1? Yeah,
there has never been an Avengers movie to make under $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
So I would be shocked if it doesn't. Number 2, it really wouldn't surprise me if Mario finishes number 2.
I would also say Mario.
It really would not be that surprising to me. Just because of its massive success. It's a family movie. This could do well. The competition with it that I see in that top 4, Toy Story 5. I think Toy Story 5 can be a huge movie. Will it make $1 billion? Has any Pixar movie ever made $1 billion? I don't know off the top of my head.
I think Toy Story 3 did.
I'm going to see if I can get a quick Google search. If I can't find it, it is what it is. Ever made $1 billion. But we're talking about Pixar's biggest and most notable IP.
I kind of forget. That wasn't even in my top 4.
In fact, 5 Pixar movies have crossed $1 billion. Incredibles 2, Inside Out 2, Toy Story 3 and 4, and Finding Dory. Inside Out 2 did it in 19 days.
If Toy Story 3 and 4 cross $1 billion,
5
will probably. So is that your order? It's Doomsday, Mario, then Toy Story 5?
I'm actually going to say Toy Story 5 over Mario. I think Toy Story 5 will finish with more than Mario in the end.
Okay, and then what's your 4th?
That's tough. I know the obvious choice would probably be Spider-Man. Marvel always does very well. I assume the other Spider-Man movies have made $1 billion.
Far From Home made $1 billion.
Certainly Far From Home. Maybe No Way Home. I don't think Homecoming quite got $1 billion.
No Way Home and Far From Home did, but I don't think Homecoming did.
So, I mean, it would be a bad choice to say anything else. So I'm going to go on a limb, though. Just because Spider-Man has to deal with this on its tail, and Oppenheimer made almost $1 billion, I think the Odyssey could do it. I'm not saying it'll make $1 billion.
Cross $1 billion.
But I think the Odyssey can be higher than Spider-Man in the box office because it's going to have such a long run in the IMAX theaters, which are a little more expensive of tickets. It's got the excitement of Nolan. It's coming off the momentum of Oppenheimer for him. You're right. It could cross $1 billion. Oppenheimer almost made $1 billion.
I know. I think Odyssey has more hype around it than Oppenheimer did, and I think Odyssey's going to cross $1 billion. I don't think it's going to be as much as Spider-Man, but I think it's in the top 5 for sure.
It's a bold take. I'm going to admit. I just am going to say it because of the fact that Spider-Man is kind of piggybacking off the Odyssey. Like it's going to get a chunk of its box office taken out of it from the Odyssey. You know, like it's just going to have to contend with that. So it'll still do very well. But
we haven't discussed. I mean, this is pretty off topic for where we're going at. But
no, it's fine.
What about the IMAX screenings for Odyssey and Spider-Man?
Right. Spider-Man doesn't have those either.
Are you fucking kidding me?
At least for a certain, how long, another Google search, how long does the Odyssey have exclusive IMAX windows?
Because I'm seeing Spider-Man day 1. So, like, if I'm not seeing an IMAX, that sucks, but it is what it is.
Well, there's still Dolby, which is always great.
Dolby, I just don't like the seats in Dolby. Like, honestly, it's not about the screen, it's the seats.
Well, I would say that, I think Dolby's a little more comfortable because the Dolby by me has recliners, but the IMAX screen is the best screen.
Your IMAX doesn't have recliners?
No, my IMAX has like plush rockers, they call it.
Oh, my IMAX and my Dolby both have recliners, but the Dolby ones are just like, they're like connected to the seat next to you instead of being like a separate seat. It's weird.
So Spider-Man Brand New Day. So the Odyssey comes out July 17th. Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out July 31st. Odyssey holds a 4-week exclusive window. They will not be giving up those screens until August 14th.
Ugh, all right.
So it can be a bit difficult for Spider-Man unless they choose to push it back a couple of weeks, like they might move Doomsday up. I don't think they're going to do that.
That'd be way too close together.
If they really wanted... No, I meant if they wanted to move it back into August, Spider-Man.
I know, but imagine August is Spider-Man and then like the beginning of December is Doomsday. Like that'd be kind of crazy.
I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, last
year... I would eat that up.
Last year we got Thunderbolts in May and then we got Fantastic Four in July. So
that's true. And we got Brave New World in February.
So I don't think it would be that crazy for them to do. And it would give them the IMAX window. And that's all, again, we talked about it with Avengers and Dune. That's a lot of money to leave on the table. So Spider-Man is still going to do very well. But I think we'd be too naive to just automatically assume it'll do as well or better than the other Spider-Man movies because those didn't have the Odyssey taking a chunk of its box office and the IMAX window. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to do very well regardless. You know, and none of this is to say that it's not an indication of if the film is even going to be good or not. Obviously, we're just talking money here. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah, I would make a bold prediction and say the Odyssey could do a bit better because of that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I probably will be. But yeah, that was a fun question. We've never really thought about that yet.
Yeah, because we're always talking about Doomsday and Dune.
Doomsday's gonna be number one. Like that to me is not a question.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So anyway, congrats to Super Mario Galaxy on winning this week's box office and presumably finishing in the top 5 like we're discussing. So why don't we get into the movie?
Let's talk about the movie, bro. So this is spoilers ahead for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We're going to give our ratings and reviews. You want to start?
I give the Super Mario Galaxy movie like 4.5 cursing Lumas out of 10.
I give it 7.8 mustaches out of 10.
Before we get into our thoughts, do you know what I'm talking about? The scene with the Luma where it sounds like she's saying fucking.
Oh my god, I thought she said fucking too. And
yeah, that's what
she
I
actually say.
I like something like I finally found you, but like it's
yes,
she's saying
yeah,
like
when she lands.
But it's when she finds Peach, but it sounds like she's saying I fucking found you.
I know, I heard. Like, I literally was like, what the hell?
like, huh? It's like, that doesn't sound appropriate. So anyway, I just wanted to preface with that.
Wow, you did not like this movie.
I did not fuck with this movie.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
I did not fuck with this movie. do you want to go first with your positives before I rain on the parade? Why don't
Yeah,
you tell us what it is that you liked? You're not the only person I know who liked it. So
because I think I'm gonna agree with some of your negatives. So for positives for a Super Mario Galaxy movie is the soundtrack was awesome. Getting rid of like the modern music and kind of modernizing the classic
yeah.
Nintendo music was such a good idea. They were remixing it but keeping it nostalgic and recognizable, which was awesome. Every time a new soundtrack or new song was playing, I was like, I know that one. I thought it looked beautiful. I thought the animation was great. The shine in Rosalina's eyes where she's fighting and the lights and the colors. I was like, my brain is off. I'm being dumb. I don't care. I like it. And I didn't expect this movie to be amazing. And I have some negatives, and we'll talk about that when we get into how you feel about this. I didn't have high expectations, so maybe that's why I'm, a more so than a lot of other critics. Um, I thought it was funny. I liked the introduction of Yoshi. I thought he was such a great addition. Um, I thought Fox was awesome. Star Fox was in that. I hated how they spoiled it, but I thought he was a great character too. And yeah, I just really enjoyed that they gave the characters more to do. There was a lot going on, but it was fun to see characters in different situations. I just had a good time. I had fun. It was visually and audibly great. Audio and visuals were awesome, and I had fun watching it. So I can't have too many complaints from a movie like this. I didn't think it was going to be, the next Scorsese, the next Interstellar. I didn't think that. I was just like, this is dumb fun, and I'm here for it.
Look, I didn't have high expectations either. In fact, this actually was below my expectations of when I went into it. And I liked the first one. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I had fun with it. This movie, I mean this in the most respectful way possible, because I'm not trying to, again, I'm not trying to rain on people's parades who enjoyed it. I'm not trying to be a big negative guy. And I say that because I think it's obvious from anyone who's listened to enough of our episodes that I tend to just rate higher because I love movies and I love watching movies, and I have such a deep appreciation for the process into making movies. So I tend to rate them higher anyway.
I'm a little more cynical usually.
Yeah, we're kind of swapping this week. So I say that because with you, but also anyone else, I don't want to offend anyone when I say this who had a good time. This is just my opinion.
There's nothing wrong with liking this movie, and if you don't like it, it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that either.
There's nothing wrong with liking it. There's nothing wrong with liking or disliking any movie, unless you're giving Get Out a 7.5 out of 10. But other than that,
it's the one thing you can't do.
It's the one thing you can't do. Everything else, again, I just want to say, because I'm going to be very negative, it's my opinion. It is not to make anyone feel bad about their opinion. I thought this was fucking slop. I thought Nintendo was just dangling keys in front of our faces and saying, "Oh, come on, guys. Oh, come on and get it." It was very much tailored to an audience that scrolls TikTok, doom scrolls TikTok. Felt like, I don't know. I just felt so disappointed. There are some things I liked. First of all, Jack Black's Bowser, always one of the positives of these movies. Always so much fun to watch. Every time his character was on the screen, I was having a better time than when he wasn't. I do really enjoy that. I liked Yoshi as well. I agree. I think the way they introduced him was fun. I thought that Donald Glover was actually pretty good with the Yoshi voice. Good, right? He's got his Groot gig now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he does, really.
The visuals are nice. It's very colorful, like a Super Mario Galaxy movie should be. I don't think the animation is anything groundbreaking or remarkable. No. Illumination in general does not necessarily set the standard for animation, but it worked. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It was very colorful. It was very fun visually. And I actually do agree with you about the music. It was nice that they made it more grounded in that world instead of trying to mix in this pop kind of, covers. I do wonder if that's just because it's a Galaxy movie and it's out in the Super Mario, whereas the Super Mario movie is in Brooklyn, it's in an
that's
actual
true,
real
the ending
setting.
of the first one was I need a hero, and I was like, oh, right. Come on, you can Mario music.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I couldn't. This felt though like it was so unengaging as an actual plot. I know that people have talked about this a lot online, the discourse around the pacing of the film. It was super
Yeah,
fast.
very
It
rushed.
was, there really wasn't time to breathe in any moment, like it was just like one set piece to the next, to the next.
I agree. You
And
don't have
so
time to actually live with the characters for a minute.
I agree. Yeah,
Like, I loved all the
absolutely.
characters. I thought they were great, but I was like, can we just stick with them for 5 seconds before switching to something else?
Yeah, and it just felt like there was a lot going on, and it didn't really even feel like a true Galaxy movie to me because there was so much of the plot from the games that they just didn't really do, or they went in a different direction. Like, obviously, we're talking spoilers. They're changing the lore between Peach and Rosalina, which kind of will change how they approach the future of these films, because now they're sisters, which has never been
Weird.
a thing before.
Never heard of that before.
Um, in fact, I didn't like the way they handled Rosalina at all. I thought that she wasn't in the movie enough. I didn't like that
Yeah.
she was the damsel in distress the whole time. It was very
No.
out of character for her. You see her have this really cool fight at the beginning, really engaging stuff, and then she's locked away in prison for the rest of the movie. In fact, she has less screen time than fucking Fox does. And in a Galaxy movie, like, Fox was cool. I'm glad he was there. Why does he have more screen time than Rosalina in a Galaxy movie? I
I
had
don't.
problems with that.
They wanted to shove in so many references from other games that have nothing to do with Galaxy, so they can just give like teases or cameos or whatever, like hinting at other things instead of just making it an actual Galaxy movie. Well, I mean, why was the villain was Bowser Jr.? Okay, that's not in the Galaxy games. Like, Rosalina's barely in it. Okay, that's not in the, like, she's actually a main character in those. It was just like, I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah, that was I agree. And like, I didn't mind Bowser Jr. being the villain when you base it off of the events of the first movie.
It makes sense, but it's like, to
But
be a
but
Galaxy movie and have him
it
be the
should have been
villain.
a Super Mario World movie. Like, it just felt like they were jumping from like when you were a kid and you used to go up the steps and you would like step up 3 steps, with you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
put
yeah.
your leg on the net.
Pass a
That's
couple.
what they right. You would pass a few on the way. That's what this was. Like, they kind of went. They played their hand too soon with the
I
Galaxy
know.
thing.
And what was the Galaxy aspect? They went to 2 planets that were just regular grass planets. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. That's what I'm saying. There
where
was
do they
so
actually
much of a
travel besides Bowser's place? You know, his planet.
nowhere really. And then there's the like the place when they go, with Rob
With
and
all the ships
everything.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but besides those, they didn't go anywhere else. They spent
I know.
most of the time on Earth,
They
or
went to
the Mushroom Kingdom, or wherever.
Yeah, they went to the place
Um,
with the dinosaur with the babies, which was kind of I didn't think the baby should have been put into this game. That was stupid, but like,
right, that was
I don't
another
know.
thing where they were just like, "Hey, here's baby Mario and baby Luigi."
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I guess, like a lot of the film just felt like instead of having any coherence to it, it was just nostalgic references, just saying,
Yeah.
remember this, remember that. Like, it just felt lazy. Like, I felt like this movie was lazy. And I know what people are going to say. It's a kids movie. It's a Mario movie, blah blah blah. I just feel like, even with that in mind, you can still make a really well put together and engaging story that is still tailored to kids and families, that's still set in the Mario universe, without it being just this lazy slop. And that is unfortunately what they ended up doing.
So that I agree with that because I had fun. It's in the sevens for me. It's not a perfect movie, obviously, but when I was watching it, I was thinking of the Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That is a kids movie through and through. It's for kids, but there are elements that adults can enjoy, and there is a lot going on in that movie. There's the 3 bears and Goldilocks. There's death. There's Puss in Boots and the girl cat that he wants to like marry. There's a lot him wanting to give up. All this stuff. A lot of plot lines, but they balance it and they let you give you time to breathe in each one. It's weird that I'm coming out of a Mario movie and being like, huh, Rosalina wasn't in that much. Huh, Bowser wasn't really in that much. I thought Bowser Jr. would have more to do. Huh, Luigi didn't really talk much in this movie, huh? Like literally every character, I'm like, they weren't really doing much this movie, and that was it. You know?
Yeah, I
Like, they
agree.
didn't
And
really, nobody did much at all.
I completely agree. I just left the movie feeling so like empty. And even though, again, it's a Mario movie, maybe I'm not the Taylor audience, but I love the games, right? It
Yeah.
should be for everybody. It just felt like, what was actually happening? What happened in this movie? Nothing really. And then you have it's great you mentioned that Bowser, right? They spend so much time on his potential like redemption arc, and that's supposedly a piece of the games, only for him to end up exactly the way he started the movie, essentially, which is Bowser. He's evil and he's wanting to fight Mario and all
Yeah,
that. It just felt like a waste of time.
because Bowser's always been one dimensional, right? Most video game characters from the early decades of video games are just one dimensional. They're literally physically one dimensional and, are 2D, I guess, but they're one dimensional. They have no other aspects besides you're the bad guy. We have to defeat you. So I get Bowser becoming bad again, but I think it would have made more sense if he was trying to trick Mario and Luigi the whole time instead of actually being a good guy. You know what I mean? Like he was actually
Right.
becoming good.
And you can't argue that because you see him when he's no longer imprisoned by Mario and Luigi, like
Right.
still questioning.
He's like, they're good guys.
He's like, should we kill them? I don't know. And it's like, no, you're Bowser, dude. Like, this is what you do.
He should have been just trying to deceive them the whole time. And then we could have that arc for him, but he ends up bad at the end anyway. And it makes sense. I agree. I agree with so much what you're saying. It just didn't, it's not enough for me to dislike the movie. I get what you're saying.
Here's where we'll differ too. For all these things, I think the biggest indictment on this film, which I knew there was going to be problems with the plot. I knew there was going to be these things where a lot of references that they're trying to jam pack into an hour and a half. I just didn't have that much fun. I really didn't. I tried. I went with friends. We were excited, reluctantly, but excited. I just didn't have that much fun. I was kind of bored. Like, again, visually it was great, but I was just not really tuned into it. The jokes didn't land. I felt like a lot of it was kind of cringe. Like the scene when they're teasing Mario because he's in love, Luigi and Yoshi are teasing Mario because he loves Peach. That really, like, I was like, ugh, that's such a joke. Like, I don't know. I just did not have fun. I was very much like, all right, when is this going to be over? And so beyond all these other issues that I'm saying that have already been said on the online discourse a million times, that is probably the biggest indictment I have is I just didn't have fun. I had fun with the first movie and I did not have fun. And for a Super Mario Galaxy movie, for me to not have fun, it's very disappointing.
I don't fault you, but I do disagree. Like, I was a kid in a candy shop, dude. I was like, when Mr. Game & Watch showed up, I was like, there's Mr. Game & Watch. I was smiling with like a lollipop and like a rainbow behind me. Like, that was me when I saw Mr. Game & Watch. That was me when I saw...
little hat, the little
I got the propeller hat.
Yeah.
That was me when I saw Mr. Game & Watch, when I saw Daisy, when they referenced, when Yoshi's walking through Brooklyn, I'm laughing my ass off. Like,
that was... Daisy's, whose animation, by the way, why does she did not look...
Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. And I was enjoying myself. I was having a good time. When Rob showed up, I was like, oh, that's funny. There's Rob. When in the background you see Samus's ship, I was like, holy shit, there's Samus.
Yeah, during the Yoshi, you see Little Mac.
You see Little Mac. You see Olimar's little guys come out of the tiny thing, and I was like, every Smash reference, I was like, this is it. This is happening. And I was just, a kid in a candy shop, man. I was excited. I was having a good time. I get your criticisms, but at the end of the day, I was like, I don't care how bad this movie is. I'm seeing stuff that I've always wanted to see on screen, and I'm having a good time doing it.
And again, that's why I prefaced at the beginning of this saying, like, I'm not trying to take away from anybody's fun or anyone who enjoyed it, because it's a different experience for everybody, and I acknowledge that. But I just felt like it was soulless, and it was very sloppy and lazy. And Nintendo, the worst thing is they know they can get away with it because we just talked about it. Look how much money it's making. That's the important thing to them at the end of the day. It's a success.
Did you know any spoilers going into it?
I saw Daisy. I did see that.
That's the one I saw too. But when Game & Watch showed up, I didn't know about
how
Game
cool
was that.
I thought it was cool in the moment. I mean, that was like, it's not like I had an issue with that on its own. It's more like the systemic issue of you're just packing things in to have it in there,
Yeah.
Especially when we've gone through 2 of these movies and Wario hasn't been introduced yet.
I was thinking that. I was really thinking that Wario and Waluigi, the way they should have structured these was Wario and Waluigi were hired by Bowser Jr. in the second movie, right? So then Bowser Jr. is not really in it, but he could be like the boss at the end of the movie. You find out, he was hired by Bowser Jr. They're the bad guys of the second movie. The third one is Bowser escapes either through the help of Wario and Waluigi in the second one, or Bowser Jr. comes in the third one and rescues him, and then that's Galaxy. to do Galaxy, like you said, you're skipping steps. To do Galaxy in the second movie, how do you what do you do after that? That's like the biggest thing you could have done besides Smash, honestly. What do you do
Which
after
is,
that?
it's interesting you say, because, and he could obviously be lying through his teeth, but the creator of Mario, Miyamoto, says that the Smash movie is not happening.
Yeah, I think they have to say that because you can't announce that yet. He probably is. I hope he's lying, but he might not be. They might be like, "Fuck it, this is just references."
He said, quote, "I don't think you'll have a situation where all Nintendo characters would be joining." So I don't know, take that with a grain of salt, but it could just be more of a situation where they're making Mario, like maybe we all overreacted. Maybe they're just making Mario movies where they're throwing references and characters in, and maybe Fox is in there because Glenn Powell just really wanted to play the character, so they added him. Like,
I think it would
things
be
like
a
that.
waste to not have Glenn Powell come back and do a Fox movie, especially since he
Well,
wants to do it.
I totally agree
And
with that.
and everyone loved his character, and he's so cool.
I did really like Fox in this movie. I just didn't like how much attention he had when there's so much of the actual Mario lore and characters that we haven't gotten yet.
Something I thought was really smart, and I think well done, was when Mario shows up and Peach and Fox are like working on the ship, and they look at each other, and you think there's going to be this jealousy love triangle thing.
Yeah.
I was going to be so annoyed. I was like, oh my fucking God. And then they're just like, what's up, dude? And they're like friends. And they're like, I
did
like this guy.
that. I did like that.
I would have been
yeah.
so pissed if there was a love triangle between Fox, Peach, and Mario, but then he didn't give a fuck about
because is
either
there
of them,
any basis for Fox and Peach to have a relationship
no, there's
ever?
no basis for that. There's no basis for Rosalina to be sisters with Peach. I'm sorry. I think that is so stupid. Like, the fact that Peach has now, like, cosmic abilities, even if it's only when she's with Rosalina, I think that makes no sense.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't like her being more than the leader of the Mushroom Kingdom and this cool, like, powerful princess. Like, I think that's enough. I don't think you need to change her character. I think it's almost disrespectful to her character to be like she needed more. Like, she was
I just
great
don't
as she
understand
was.
why they're making these changes. Like, what narrative purpose is it serving? You have such a deep and rich story in the Galaxy games to work off of. Why are you doing this in the first place?
I have no idea.
Who in terms of a character is it benefiting? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. The only thing that mattered was her helping Rosalina escape. That's the only way that played into the plot at all. Like, they don't even have a heart to heart. Like, the movie kind of just ends. She escapes and they go, hey, Mario, this is my sister.
Very abrupt ending.
Super abrupt. She literally goes, this is my sister. And Luigi's like, I love a family reunion. And that's it. What?
All right, I will say the one joke that really did get me in this movie was when they're like, oh, we want to see the Mushroom Kingdom. And then it's just gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, what happened to the kingdom? And Luigi's like, it died. Like, that was funny.
Good impression, dude. That was really good.
Thank you.
That was a good Charlie Day.
So that I thought was pretty funny, I will say.
I thought that was funny. Yeah, all in all, I mean, I had a good time. I think that we're going to get a third movie for sure. And I think we're going to get a Fox movie. And apparently Donkey Kong movie, which was, I still don't understand why he had a cameo, but why he wasn't in this movie. Does he end up in Brooklyn and stay there at the end of the first one?
I was wondering that too. I was like, why is he there?
I was like, I don't remember.
We know why Yoshi's there.
Yeah.
But why? I don't remember him. Why isn't he just back on his island? Like, I don't understand.
Know why he's there. Also, the police were chasing him. Like, what is he doing?
Oh, is he just like the King Kong of this world now?
That's what it seems like. I don't know. They're giving him a movie, and I thought that movie would explain where he is. But at this point, I'm like, I just don't know if they wanted him back or Seth Rogen didn't want to come back. I have no idea why.
Could be easily just as simple as it was a scheduling issue that Seth Rogen couldn't do it. But.
Because it'd be weird for them to be like, oh, this wouldn't fit in the movie. Bro, you threw a million things in this movie. You could add Donkey Kong as like a character.
Yeah, I totally agree. You telling me you found a way to like put... I mean, again, we all liked it, but Fox, you found a way to make Fox a pretty prominent character and you couldn't do Donkey Kong anywhere?
I know. And Rosalina needed more screen time. I feel bad for Brie Larson, actually, because she's like a huge Mario Galaxy fan, and she's barely in the fucking movie.
Oh, and I think it goes without saying Chris Pratt's Mario is maybe even worse this time around.
It is worse this time around. I was actually pleasantly surprised with it the first movie, and this one I was like, he's just phoning it in.
He was very much phoning it in. Collecting a paycheck, but it was not good. It was not good. Man. So I don't know. Sucks. Look, I didn't fuck with the movie. Like I said, I pretty much said all there is to say about it. I knew going into it what it would be. it still was beneath my expectations. Whereas the first movie, it was what I expected it, and I enjoyed it. So unfortunately, I didn't like it. You did. I'm glad you did, honestly. But yeah, no, I thought this one was a miss.
That's all right, man. That sucks. I mean, I'm just sad that you went to the movies and didn't enjoy it. That sucks. But uh,
I did enjoy something else this weekend.
yeah, let's get into the drama. I'll start.
Well, yeah,
Right, we'll do
yeah, that makes
spoilers
sense.
ahead for the drama, new movie that came out. So spoilers ahead for the drama. Our ratings and reviews. I give this movie 8.9 slow kids in closets out of 10.
I give this movie like 9.1. Just I'm being so exact with that. I can just say 9.
Me too.
9.1 DJs out of 10.
We did 8.9 and 9.1. We're both teetering around the 9. Like we don't want to give it a
We're
9.
clearly a lot more in lockstep with this film than we were about Mario.
Yeah, this well, I'll let you start this time cuz I started last time, but yeah, no, go ahead. Just take it away.
This was great. And here's the thing about this movie. I didn't know much at all going into it,
I knew nothing.
which is not really the case. Like there's always so many trailers and leaks and this and that. I had seen the very first teaser. It didn't really give much away. It was a while ago. I didn't know anything else. It wasn't really even by design. It just was the way it worked out. And I was so, I mean, I know you're going to say, look, it's Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. So I don't want to sound too crazy, but I was surprised. Like this really was a film that exceeded my expectations. The drama is such a correct name for this movie. It's such an apt name for this movie because it really
Yeah,
is just a drama. But this was really entertaining. Like on the flip side of me talking about Mario and being like not entertained, like I found this this to be such an engaging story.
I agree. You're probably happy that I think this is better than the Mario movie.
I was like, dude, when I saw on Letterboxd your Mario review, I was like, okay, yeah, he liked it. I could see that. And then I was like, is he going to see the drama this weekend? You better not see this fucking Mario movie and not also see the drama. And then I was like, well, you put the drama in our notes. I was like, you're going to see it. You're the one who put it down. And then I saw your review and like your rating, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank
God. It's very rare that you and I agree this closely on a movie. I totally agree. This movie exceeded my expectations. I was entertained the entire time. The performances are the most entertaining part. I'm like so intrigued by these characters and the way they're so well acted. Basically, I mean, spoilers ahead again. The main plot boils down to that these couples, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, are going to get married, and before their wedding, them and their friends say, "What's the worst thing you've ever done?" And they all go around, blah blah blah. Zendaya says, "I planned a school shooting when I was 15." She didn't do it. She had the gun. She planned it. I want to know what you think about this because I'm actually very conflicted on how I feel about this movie. As a movie, it's great, but I don't know if I agree with the messaging. I think
What do you mean?
they were playing things for laughs that I thought shouldn't be played for laughs. And they were making light of things where I'm like, I don't know if that's right. Like the girl's sitting at her computer with a gun and she's like, this is who's going to die, about to shoot up her school the next day. And then the computer turns off. She goes, oh shit. And everyone in my theater laughs. I'm like, the fuck? Then she goes again. She's like, all right, here's a list of everyone who's going to get shot and killed tomorrow in first period. Oh, virus on the computer. She goes, oh shit. And then everyone in my theater laughs. And I'm like, it's funny, but it's like, when you think about it for a second, it's like, it's not really funny. It's kind of fucked up, actually. Like, I don't know. I felt strange about it.
I thought so. I don't think your problem is so much the messaging, whereas the way the film is portrayed, which is more of like a dark comedy. Well, it's a drama, obviously, but it's like a dark dramedy, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it because I think it chose its moments very well. And, to kind of shed humor or shed more of a serious tone. So I do think it straddled that line appropriately, in my opinion.
I'm just conflicted. I'm not saying they did it bad or good. I'm just like, I loved it as a movie, but I'm just conflicted on how to feel about it.
It worked for me. I just thought this movie, again, on the flip side of Mario, it was paced very well. The way that it was kind of flowing from scene to scene, we were able to sit with these moments. We were able to see these reactions. The way we got to see this secret of Zendaya's like fester into all four of these people's
It was
lives.
very well done.
It was just so very well portrayed. So I liked it. I found it mesmerizing. There were like at least 4 occasions where I audibly gasped or was like, "Oh shit," out loud, which
Like, I
I
got
don't usually
nervous.
do. Like, one of them for sure is during the wedding when she brings Misha to the back, and then Misha reveals something that Emma wasn't looking for, which was about the fact that Charlie, who's Robert Pattinson's character, was trying to hook up. It was like kind of a traumatic response, I guess,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, no way. I was like, dude, this is fucked up.
I did that when her friend Rachel started to give her speech. I was like, oh fuck. I was so nervous that she was going to say something.
Dude, fuck Rachel.
I hate Rachel.
Which, by the way, I'll give credit to Alana Haim. Like, she played the character very well to make everyone hate her, but she represented this, because when you look at what this film's like core themes are about, it's about empathy and acceptance, right? Kind of understanding a person for like who they really are. And I, even before Emma reveals this big secret, you see this passive aggressiveness between Rachel and Emma. Like when they're sitting writing the vows at the beginning, she's like, "Oh, don't cry, you look ugly." Or then she's like, "You fell in love at 28 for the first time." Like, that's weird. Like she really had this very passive aggressive tone to her. And I like that her character's whole thing was like this false sense of superior morality.
Yeah, dude, she trapped a handicapped kid,
handicapped kid in a closet and didn't tell anyone
overnight in the woods.
I personally don't believe her when she says she would have told people. I don't. You know what I mean?
She was laughing about it.
She was, right? Anyway, I just thought that the way they went about these ideas of like I said, empathy and acceptance, and like the evolution of a person's character. It was fascinating. And for sure, they're doing it at the same time, by the way, with some interesting racial undertones. Like, there was this one comment she makes, Rachel, because obviously Zendaya being the person whose secret
she's mixed, right? She's half black.
She's mixed. It's by design. And then you have Rachel, who makes the backhanded comment about her husband, Mike, saying he grew up around guns, when it wasn't even true.
Yeah, that was so weird. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like,
and then she was like, he's afraid of them.
Like, this film had a very interesting stance on gun culture in general, and you see that especially with like the scene when Charlie and Rachel and Mike are sitting around, I guess, like her office, and Charlie's talking about gun culture in America, and he's like, well, I don't know. Like, he's trying to rationalize it himself.
Yeah,
and he's doing so by saying,
points.
Like, well, he was. He's like, well, like this is such a commonplace thing.
They let him be British in this, which I really liked. Robert Pattinson, I feel he's always American, so they let him be British, and that was a good like dichotomy of having a British person talk about guns in America, and he was like, well, this happens every day for you guys, and then she's like, oh, it's not an excuse, and he's like, it's not an excuse, but you have to acknowledge this shit should not be happening every day, and it does. It's a weird place to grow up, and it's a weird thing to deal with and see on the news every fucking second.
And I thought that I thought Emma's reasoning was very logical as to why she didn't go through with the school shooting, because it's not like she was just like, oh, my car broke down on the way. Like, her whole thing was she saw the real life impact of what that does to people, and then she found a sense of community, which is all she really wanted, right? And by those two things, that is what changes her mind and says, like, I'm not going to go through with this. And I think that the film really drove that point home. Like, the scene where you see the younger Emma, like, they're doing the activity in the gymnasium, where they're all walking around, and then she comes face to face with her classmate and she breaks down into tears. She's finding her place, her community, her group, her people. And I think it's just this, again, this film is like driving home this idea of what really even, builds up, that mentality. Like, many times you hear them say, where do you get that kind of idea? And obviously, again, this is the culture thing. Well, it's this whole loner, right? This whole archetype of the loner character who gets bullied, doesn't have friends, feels like they, are very desolate in the world. So to kind of see that flipped, like when she's young, she's like 13, they said, right? So like she's so impressionable. She sees, like, to her it's more of a style, right, than anything else. And so when
Yeah,
she sees
it's
the
yeah.
real impacts of it, and then she finds her place, that completely changes everything. And then you see, like, Rachel again, that displaced, moral superiority that she tries to have the whole time, when like Zendaya's dad, Emma's dad, is like, you got involved in gun control rights and things like that.
Worst
And
wedding speech I've ever heard in my life.
dude, no, but really, like, Robert Pattinson's is like, it ruined the whole fucking
His was
wedding.
bad, but the dad doesn't know anything about any of this stuff. And his wedding speech is, yeah, I remember when my daughter took my gun and it went missing. And oh, yeah, and then you joined gun activists. Why are you talking about guns so fucking much in your wedding speech, bro?
I know, right? It's like he had a sixth sense with
Yeah, he
that. But
knew. It's like it was in the script.
I just thought that I thought it was really well done. I also, with that, it's funny while you bring it up. Then when he gets interrupted with the DJ,
Oh
kind
my
of
God, that actually
the
scared me.
yeah, that got me too. I definitely jumped, but
Me too.
I don't know. I just think you see this play out in Emma's character. Like, she's the one who kind of represents this empathy more than any other character. She's the only one who is willing to let the DJ, who they catch doing fucking heroin or whatever,
Yeah,
she's willing to forgive her. She's willing to, like, understand her.
she
And
is.
that's not something she seems to be getting in return. That's a struggle that we really see in this film.
And her argument was really, when she was like, maybe we caught her on her worst day. And like
Hmm.
her, I mean, and we know that that's like the worst time period in Emma's life. So yeah, no, I totally agree. I think, so the whole conflict of the movie is Robert Pattinson not really knowing what to do with this information. He just found out the woman he's going to marry, which they've only been together for 2 years. They're getting married kind of quickly. He's going to marry her. He's been together with her for 2 years. That she planned to shoot up her school. She never did, but she planned it. Honestly, I don't want to put you on the spot, but like, what were you thinking? Were you like, he's making the right choice by being skeptical about it, or was he right to be conflicted, or should he have just forgiven her? Because the best part about this movie for me was the actual ethical dilemma of what to do. Because I, like the character, was like, fuck, what is the right choice here?
I do think it's a good question that both you and the film pose. It's easy to say, "Oh, I can't marry someone who would ever do that." But again, it's this idea of people changing and
Right,
having
she's the same
empathy and
person she was
acceptance,
yesterday. You just found out something she did 10 years ago.
and what she didn't even actually do. Like,
Right,
it's kind of like the
yeah.
Ross Rachel. We were on a break. It's like, well, she didn't actually do it. Yeah, no, I mean, I think part of why you see Charlie have such a visceral response is because of the fact that it happened so publicly, and he, it's not like something she confided in him in private. I do think it scared him, especially seeing Rachel's reaction and all of that, and the way it impacted Emma. Did he go too far? Did he do something wrong? Yes. In fact, the film makes it a point that the whole time he doesn't really know what his worst thing ever is, only for it to be what he does at the wedding. And obviously the whole thing where he tries to cheat on her with Misha and then
Yeah.
exposes the whole thing at the wedding. That essentially kind of is the worst thing he's ever done. I think he was justified to his conflicting feelings, and ultimately coming to a place of understanding. I think it made a lot of sense to me. I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say that you can take a moral high ground, but
No,
ultimately this is someone you're trying to build a life with. It's about acceptance. I mean, I've said that a few times, but that is what the film was getting at. And so to this point, like, it's about him trying to find a path towards accepting Emma for everything, even the parts about her that make him uncomfortable.
I agree. I can't say I'd act any differently besides the cheating part, hopefully. But he yeah, I mean he says he needs time with it. He's not angry at her, he's not mad, and I think that was great. He wasn't aggressive, he just needs time with it. And then when he talks to her and he gets her side of it, and of course he has questions. He can't let it go. I wouldn't be able to let that go. He's asking questions constantly. And he finally gets to hear the truth from her and not just what she did, like the truth about exactly how she felt, why she got there, what she did, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts to realize, okay, this is not that same person. She recognized the wrongs that she did. and he ends up trying to defend her to their friends, which I thought was really good. I just didn't like how they made him the bad guy. I don't like that he cheated on her. I thought the whole buildup of how is this going to affect their relationship? Are they going to get married? This piece of information is eating at him. What's going to happen at the wedding? To him doing something that it's like, okay, well, now they can't get married. If she finds out he cheated, it's over anyway. I didn't like that because now it's like there's a definite you fucked up instead of there's a chance they could, there's a chance they cannot. Now it's like he did something bad.
Well,
He's
but then
wrong.
again, he didn't even really, I mean, like, not saying that them just
Made out.
kissing, they made out. I'm not saying that that's not cheating, but again, it is a bit more of a gray area than he just was like, yeah, I fucked Misha. I've been fucking Misha. Again, I'm not saying that that's okay or anything, but I like that it's kind of like, okay, where are we at? And that's why I want to ask you what you thought about the ending scene, because I thought it brought it full circle very well. I wasn't sure what to expect there. And then when it was just like a fresh plate, like we're starting over, I thought that was a brilliant way to end the movie.
I agree. I liked it. I liked the way they ended it. I like I said, I don't like the whole cheating thing, but if they're gonna go that route, I like that it seems she's willing to forget that and forgive the way he should have been with her. And now they're both kind of realizing like we just need to forget and forgive, and maybe we can move on from this.
I think, but to differentiate a little bit, I do think he needed those events to transpire that way for him to be able to reach that same place.
He did. He needed to do something not as bad, but he needed to do something bad for him to recognize like the importance of, I guess, forgiveness for you doing something in a vulnerable state. I mean, he was vulnerable. He was depressed. There was something going on with him the same way there was all this fucked up stuff going on with her when she made those choices. So I agree that that's how he has to get there. I just don't like that because to me, I was like, this is so good. I was like, this is so good. How is he going to make this choice? What's going to stop him or keep him from marrying her? Like, this is such an ethical dilemma for me. And then he does something that's a total immediate marriage ender for me. And I'm like, all right, well, that's over. I don't care about the dilemma anymore. It's over. I would never marry someone after they did that.
Right, but that's fair. But that's
That was a
you. I
personal
think
thing, though. Not
that's
from a movie
you.
standpoint. Yeah, that's me being like, I'm invested in this exact storyline because this is exactly how I would act, blah, blah, blah.
But
And
I
they did
think
something, I'm like, all right.
it would be very out of character for Emma to not forgive him, though, because her whole thing is that she is the character who has empathy for other people. She is the one who can find forgiveness not only in herself but in others. And I think that she needed to be faced with that in the same way that he was faced with his own dilemma. And at the same time, then he needs to kind of have this guilt that makes him realize, all of this reaction that I'm having is, I don't want to say unnecessary, but it doesn't change what matters between the two of us. And I think they just both get to this place. Like, I understand what you're saying. But again, you see Charlie throughout the whole film struggling with this dilemma, struggling with, I love her, but now I have these new feelings. And of course, it's the week of the wedding. So you're throwing that bomb on top of everything else too.
Yeah, I know. 2 days away.
And I just think that in the end, he's freaking out. He's trying to find out what he should do. He succumbs to this, I mean, he's not really thinking about it. He stops himself. He kind of succumbs to this crazy knee-jerk reaction in the moment where, he's just trying to, I don't know, find some sort of release, to his frustration, to his angst. Again, it doesn't make it okay, but that's the point, is that they are deeply flawed and they have both done these terrible things, and they find a way to forgive and empathize and, wipe the plate clean, and start all over. I thought it was beautiful in that sense. I thought it was a really interesting message to say, on top of course, all that it was doing with, gun violence and the imagery that we have of guns in this country. Certainly the stuff with him, with the book, kind of glamorizing and even sexualizing guns in this, in this country a bit. It was really interesting. So I don't know. I personally enjoyed it.
I was really nervous. I'm really glad that no one ratted. I really thought that one of the speeches was going to end with her getting like ratted out during the wedding. You know what I mean? I thought that Rachel was going to do it and just announce to everyone. So I'm really glad they didn't do that because the secondhand embarrassment I would have gotten from that would have been brutal.
What about the whole school shooter thing?
Yeah,
Banning
like
that
if
part?
someone during the wedding was like, "Hey, by the way, the bride planned a school shooting," like that would be a fucking drop. Like I would have been like, "Oh fuck!"
I
Like
agree.
I was
Although I
nervous
do,
the
I
whole
mean, he
time.
does. I mean, Charlie like references it. He doesn't ever say it. He's like,
He
"Well, you
doesn't
didn't
say
even
it.
do it." He
Yeah, he
says
doesn't say
things
it.
like, "Well, you didn't even do it." You know what
Only
I
those if
mean?
you know, you know, and type thing. You know?
Yeah, that is really a if you know, you know. Um,
But
yeah, I don't know. I loved it.
I liked it. I did really enjoy it. It's my second favorite movie of the year so far. Actually, I think it's top 3 for you as well.
My third favorite.
Yeah, I like the feeling. The I was nervous of what the characters were to do. That's how you know you're invested when I'm like nervous for the characters. I'm nervous for what they're going to say, what they're going to do. I felt anxiety and secondhand embarrassment. Not stuff you want to feel normally, but when you're watching a movie, that's how you know you're involved and invested and interested in what's happening. And I thought they really did things well. And it's a very touchy subject. I thought it was done pretty well. Obviously, some things I disagree with, but I thought I thought it
Did
was a good movie.
Did you notice? I love it because this movie also was good with the details. Did you notice the picture on the refrigerator?
The
It was
one
like a
of
blink and you'll miss it.
the one
It's
of them two
Charlie and
together.
Emma, and
Yeah,
she's like holding like her hand in the position of a gun to him.
I did see that.
And it's interesting because we got a poster initially, and it was different. The poster, she has like her. I know it's hard to see, but she's got like her whole hand like this with the
Yeah,
ring. And then in the real one, it's with the gun. And
I
I
remember
clocked it.
seeing
I was
that.
like DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time. I was like, oh. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's really
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I don't know. I thought this movie's great. I mean, I thought it was such a wild ride,
I agree.
truthfully.
I agree.
And we could go on and on about, because there's just so much, like I said, that we could talk about with like the messaging and the more descriptive things, but it's paced well. It kept me on my toes. The performances are chaotic and fun, and some of the best of the year. It is tremendous. It is a twisted film, but a great film.
Yeah, and it's got no beats where I was ever like, oh, can this end? There are sometimes when I'm watching a movie, I'm like, all right, is it over yet? I was invested, and I was there for the ride. It was great.
I agree. I would not be mad if there is some Oscar talk for Zendaya and Robert
No,
Pattinson.
they were fantastic, man.
Sometime in the next Oscar season.
I would say this is Zendaya's best performance. I mean,
It might
out
be
of
both
everything
of
I've
their
seen
best
her in.
performance. Definitely hers. I would. Let me see real quick. She is. I mean, she's really good in Dune. Obviously, I wouldn't say that's her best. She's really great in Challengers. This might be her best. I don't know if it's Pattinson's best. He's so good in The Lighthouse. But I mean, this is up there too.
Yeah, the whole
And
time
obviously
watching though, I was like,
Batman,
I
but
can't believe this guy's Batman because he's so different in this
But that's how I
movie.
feel. He is got such a wide range, and
He does.
he
He's
does all
great.
these little voices. Like you talk about, they let him be British. They don't really let him be American either. They just make him do a wacky voice.
I
In
know
most
he's always
movies.
a freak.
Like Mickey 17, the boy and the
Oh
heron. Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
always
yeah.
doing something. So, yeah, man, this was a great movie.
Yeah.
And I definitely recommend everybody check it out.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I mean, we kind of just spoiled everything for you, but it's still awesome, and I would
Yeah,
watch
but
it
if you
again.
don't care about spoilers and you want to see the movie or you want to watch it again,
Yeah,
I plan on watching it again. Obviously not in theaters, but if it does do well for Oscar season, better than maybe we're expecting,
give it a rewatch.
I'd give it a rewatch. I don't think it'll be a Best Picture nomination, but could it get a screenplay somewhere? I would think maybe. Certainly, like I said, the performances deserve it. So, what a movie, man! I mean, seriously, I loved it.
Let's move on to some trailers. We got a lot of trailers that came out very recently. You want to talk some Supergirl real quick?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Supergirl trailer dropped, the full trailer, and it is interesting to say the least.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks fine. I think Lobo looks great. Jason
Yeah.
Momoa. I mean, I have the actual the comic that the movie's based on. So I'm gonna read it before it comes out. It's Woman of Tomorrow. It's all about crypto and the people who take crypto and or poison him or whatever. That's the plot of the movie. It seems like crypto gets poisoned. She has to go get it. It just seems. It doesn't seem like a super like I don't know. She doesn't really use her powers much in the trailer, so it's kind of hard to tell. She's kind of just punching people like regularly or hitting them with things. I don't know. It just seems not like it has the James Gunn sauce to it, you know?
Well, I don't think he's actually involved in this though. He's not
He's
a
not
director, and he's
directing,
not he didn't write it either though.
but I think he's producing, no?
Well, he's producing all of these movies. Because he's the head of DC. So he's
But
technically listed as a producer. Like Kevin Feige's the producer of every Marvel movie.
but again, it's just like I feel like this type of movie should feel like a Guardians of the Galaxy or even like Superman, the one we got last
Well, it
year.
kind
But
of
it
does
just
feel like Guardians of the Galaxy to me, and that's the one thing I wonder is does James Gunn only have this one trick up his sleeve? Is this style of a superhero movie? I mean,
yeah,
again, I think it looks fine. I don't have the highest of expectations. I'm not trying to say it won't be a good movie. I think it'll be a good movie, but I don't think it's going to be like Superman. I don't think it's going to be this like groundbreaking, remarkable film that everyone's talking about.
yeah. I do hope they really lean into. So Millie Alcock looks great as Supergirl. I think she's going to do fantastic.
Yes, she does.
I really hope they lean into the fact that Supergirl in Superman she was kind of drunk and funny and whatever.
It's just a cameo at the end.
Supergirl is like she doesn't give a fuck. At least at the beginning, she's like, "I'll kill people. I don't give a fuck." Like if they're the bad guys, and you see that in the trailer where someone like hurts the dog and she just lasers them off a cliff or something, and it's cool. I really want them to lean into that idea that she is not Superman. I just don't want there to be like the Superman copy and paste type thing. And I don't think they're doing that, but I just really hope they don't do that. Um, and I know Lobo is actually not actually in the comic, so I wonder how he's going to fit into the movie. I don't know for sure. He looks awesome. Jason Momoa, glad he's come back to DC. But yeah, I'm kind of prepared to be a little disappointed. I don't know. For the second movie in the DCU, it doesn't look as good as I hoped it would, so I don't know.
I mean, I haven't had super high expectations. It's my expectations are a little higher for like Clayface because that's the first one where we'll really see a tonal shift in this universe.
Yes.
So
And
I want
Lanterns
to see
too,
how
but that's TV, obviously.
Right. So as for this, I think it looks fine. I think it'll be a good movie. It'll be serviceable. I think Millie Alcock looks great. Jason Momoa looks great. Nothing about like the set pieces really blow me away. From the
No.
trailer. But like Superman they did, right? So nothing about the set pieces really blow me away. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be I don't think it's going to be a bad movie.
Does the movie seem kind of colorless to you?
A little.
It
A
seems
little.
kind of washed out. Like Superman was so bright and comic-y and colorful. And this one, there's maybe 2 or 3 parts in the trailer where there's color, but like besides that, it's just very gray and brown.
And you could say, well, maybe that's what they're going for with this specific story compared
It's
to
definitely
Superman,
gonna be
which was
darker, for
so
sure
hopeful.
darker.
But I don't know. It's still Supergirl. It's not like Clayface, which is going to be a lot of browns and greens and like muddy. It's gonna that one will be a little devoid of color,
Yeah.
and that's a purposeful choice. I don't know. Yeah,
You would think Supergirl in space. I mean, at one point we see her like lasering another laser, which looked cool, very colorful, and we see a colorful planet and stuff like that. But when she's fighting people or when she's with Lobo, it's just very, very colorless and like dead looking. So I don't know. Hopefully we enjoy it, but we never know. But we'll see how it goes.
you never know. Why don't we talk about another trailer coming out? We talked about A24 with the drama, but they have another one coming out called Backrooms, which obviously is based off of the Legend Backrooms and of course a little web series and everything like
Yeah,
that.
like the Reddit, the
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Yeah.
I'm curious your thoughts. I know you're not the biggest horror guy, but I gotta say, it did actually look pretty interesting. And this movie was like not on my radar at all. Like I wasn't really paying much attention to it when the news was coming out or whatever. And then I see the trailer and I was like, they could have something here. It looks pretty interesting.
It looks interesting. Also, we have no idea really what it's about, which is cool. Because after watching the trailer, I'm like, what actually is happening? So I'm excited for that. I mean, I don't like horror, but because we do this podcast, I'm probably gonna end up seeing it. So I've never really been a fan of horror, but I will end up watching it just for you, buddy. Just for you, I'm gonna end up watching it.
Well, what's interesting is I think what is the biggest kind of point of contention here with this film is that it's directed by Kane Parsons, who is 20 years old. That's what makes me very intrigued about it.
I was gonna say that's kind of the perfect person to do it. I mean, it's the Backrooms, like that's the video game reference to like no clipping through a wall, and then the horror stories of like no clipping through a wall in real life, and you end up in the back rooms. That was like That was a creep. What is it, like a creepy pasta horror
Yeah,
story on Reddit or
yeah.
whatever? And it's like a video game ish type uh thing that could happen. So I think a younger director is actually a good sign.
Yeah, and I mean he's the youngest director in A24's history. I mean 20, and we're 26, and what are we doing?
We're talking about him.
We're talking about Kane Parsons. I think it looks really interesting. I know some people didn't like the fact that, like, you know, because the whole thing with the Backrooms is supposed to be like you're trapped, and they didn't like that it's like it seems like there's like a portal in that furniture store where you can like get in and out of it. So it
Yeah.
might be a little bit of a different approach, but I like the idea that you'll have our character. First of all, Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renata Reinsve. You know, we're talking about Oscar
Mm,
nominees
yeah.
working with a 20-year-old. That is insane.
Yeah.
Um, they're both incredible actors, and so I do think we're going to see more of them. Like, maybe it's not that you're trapped necessarily, but like your curiosity gets the best of you. You dig deeper and deeper until you do get trapped in it.
I mean, that's really what the Backrooms is. It's like you get stuck there, sure, but the whole it's the mystery of it that keeps you there. You're like,
Yeah.
why? What's
What
back
is
here?
this?
What
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 is
is
going
going
on
on?
here?
Yeah, why is this even here? Is the real question. Like, it was just a plain old like wall, and then there was supposed to be nothing there, and you get sucked into. You're like, why is this here? And what is the
And it's
purpose?
obviously this very, creepy kind of what's the word? I'm like just
It's just
bland room.
ominous. Yeah.
Very ominous, like it is. There's a curiosity to it, and so I really like what they're going for with this. I
I
like that it's going to be like partially found footage.
have you? Oh, I didn't know that. Have you ever read the Backroom stories or anything like that?
Like a little. I don't know that much about the lore.
I don't either. So I wonder. As far as I know, but I may be wrong. Is that like there is no real explanation for it? So,
I
because
hope not.
you keep the mystery. So I don't know how the movie's gonna handle it. I hope they don't stray too far away because it'd be, or they handle it well. Because to do no explanation might piss people off, but if you do it the right way, you could definitely get away with that.
But especially when you think about a horror movie, it doesn't necessarily need an explanation. Sometimes you just need to tell an interesting story.
Yeah.
Like, I do think sometimes films are at a fault where they try to over-explain things
Mhm.
to give reasoning, and then it like the allure or the mystique around it kind of dampens. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that it's like maybe we'll never really know how this got here or what the Backrooms actually are, and instead it's just people who are trying to wrap their heads around it, and they end up stuck, or with the crazy shit and the monsters and the whatever that end
Yeah.
up being down there.
And then you could do a sequel. If you don't explain it and you have, it's never closed off,
Yeah,
you
you
do a
could call it
sequel.
the front rooms.
The first, yeah, the side rooms.
The one where it's just the fucking furniture store. I saw, real quick before we move on, they released like an in-universe commercial for the furniture store, and like
Oh,
Chiwetel Ejiofor's character like runs the furniture store, and he's
yeah,
like a
yeah.
pirate, and it's really cool. You should check it out. It's just like a cool little like thing that they did, where they came out and he's like, oh, like you'll have nowhere to, like at the end, he makes like a comment like, you'll need more space to put all this stuff or something. And it's like,
If only you
I
had an
just thought it
extra
was really,
room.
yeah, if only you had a room in the back,
Yeah.
right? That you could put that furniture in.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be like, just to wrap up my thoughts, like it went from a movie that wasn't on my radar at all to a movie that's like, okay, you might be cooking with something here. I am interested
Yeah.
now.
When I first heard of it, I thought it was going to be a fan film. I didn't know it was actually like a popular studio with
backed,
actual actors.
yeah.
I thought it was just going to be a fan YouTube film.
And A24 always does very well with horror. Like they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a good history of horror films. So
They're
I
on.
don't know. I'm like pretty excited about it. I know you're not as big into horror. I know you're not as excited as me, but
No,
it definitely is. It looks interesting.
the mystery of what they're going to do with the back rooms and like if they're going to explain it, what's going to happen to the characters, that's what's making me want to watch it. I don't like the horror aspect. I just don't like horror. It's just not my thing. It's not like
Sure.
It's not like I'm against it. I don't hate it. I'll watch it, and I've enjoyed horror movies before, but it's never my go-to. But this is the mystique around it is actually what's getting me into the wanting to watch the movie.
Yeah. And again, two Oscar-nominated actors working
Yeah.
with a 20-year-old and Ejiofor and Reinsve, and I love both of them so much. So I think this is going to be maybe one of the bigger surprises of the year, for me at least.
And we have other trailers for TV shows that we want to talk about real quick that are also pretty horror, right? I mean, they seem
Two
like
of
they
them
are.
definitely, maybe all three. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to do this in like I guess one little subsection. Apple TV, probably the most underrated streaming service out there. It's just banger after banger with
Not
it.
underrated on here, dude. We are the biggest
No,
advocates for Apple TV streaming.
Absolutely. And I think that these three, I mean, there's a whole bunch, but I wanted to highlight these three because they looked very interesting. We'll start with Cape Fear because that's probably the most popular one. Certainly that, I don't know if you know anything about Cape Fear. There are 2 movie versions of the story.
I knew that. Is it Al Pacino? Is that him?
It's Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De
Same
Niro,
fucking guy.
who plays what Katie? What's his name? Something Katie. Sam Katie is his name.
I never seen the originals, but I've heard of them. And this trailer,
Max Katie. I was mixing up Sam Bowden and Max Katie.
So is this a reboot or is this the same place? Just a sequel
No. It's they're just redoing the story. They're rebooting the story.
Who's playing Max Katie? Was he in the trailer?
So Max Katie is basically what this story is for anyone who doesn't know. It's about a small time attorney named Sam Bowden who was a public defender that put Max Katie in prison years ago. And now Max Katie is out of prison.
Because in the trailer, they keep saying, well, does he know what we did? Does he know what we did? I don't know what they did. So that's cool that they're keeping that a mystery.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they're changing some things. But Max Katie was sentenced to prison for rape. And now he's out. And again, the public defender who put him away, or no, he was the public he was the public defender for Max Katie, but they lost and he went to prison. That was Sam Bowden. And now he comes back and he's like, Max Katie's obviously angry.
Javier Bardem then.
Javier Bardem is playing Max Katie, which I love. I love Javier Bardem, and he's such a good villain. Obviously, Anton Chigurh.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking of when I was watching this trailer. I was like, we're getting it. We're getting another.
We're getting another villain Bardem. It's been a while.
So like he was a shit villain in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, but he was a great villain in.
I'll say this: his performance of Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men is one of my favorite performances of all time.
So good. Ever. I just rewatched it like a couple weeks ago.
He's so good in that movie. He's so chilling. It's not so flashy, and that's the point that makes it even scarier in my opinion.
And this character looks like he has that like threatening aura to him, but also, I mean, you see him laugh, like he seems like he's like a fucking Joker or something. He's like laughing, but he's also terrifying and he's scary, and it looks great.
And I love it. So the original film, I've never seen the original one from 1962. With Gregory Peck, that's the name you'd probably know. He plays Sam Bowden, and then Max Katie's played by Robert Mitchum. And then Martin Scorsese directed it in 1991. It was De Niro playing Katie, and Nick Nolte was playing Sam Bowden. And now we got Bardem, and I know we both love him, Patrick Wilson.
He's
playing
he
Sam
can't
Bowden.
Escape horror.
No, man. No, he really can't. And Amy Adams, who, I'd love to she's so talented, but she doesn't have the best filmography. I would love to see her in another great project. And of course, the executive producers are both Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a lineup.
This looks like it's going to be a great show. I don't know if you're going to end up watching it.
No, I will, honestly, strictly because of Javier Bardem being a villain.
Exactly. And where are the movies where you're like, all right, I'll watch it so we could do it on the podcast? These shows, when I said, let's watch the trailers and talk about it, it's not even like you have to watch it for the podcast. It looks good and it might make you want to check it out,
Yeah, that's what this show is for me.
So that looks really good, and I'm so excited for it. The next of the three, Widow's Bay. These next two, by the way, I'd never heard of until the trailers came out. Widow's Bay, a new show coming out on Apple TV. I don't remember. Probably should have wrote down the
when they come
actual
out.
Release dates for all these. It comes
fine.
out. Oh wow, the end of the month, April 29th. Widow's Bay. I don't really even know a lot of what this is about. It stars Matthew Rhys, and it's like a New England mayor in a cursed town. I thought this looked so good too. It gives me Midnight Mass vibes, which is the Mike Flanagan show that came out a few years ago.
I never had any interest in watching Midnight Mass, and this show is not getting me either. It just doesn't look. I just didn't get it from the trailer.
That's fine. It's the showrunner Hiro Murai, who also did Atlanta, which I've been slowly working through.
I need to get through that. I started.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like again, this one I was less expecting you to be interested in. Cape Fear, I knew you'd be like, all right, these are big names. This
Yeah,
isn't.
yeah,
It's thriller more than horror with that one.
yeah.
Whereas this is strictly like small town horror. But I
I'm not.
love that. That's my bread and butter, small town horror.
You know what it is for me for horror is I don't enjoy the supernatural stuff for horror. My favorite horror movies are usually ones where it's like realistic stakes and stuff like
Like
that.
a murderer or something.
Yes, like a
that.
psycho, a serial killer, stuff like that has always been my favorite kind of horror. Stuff that I was like, that's anything can happen because it's fucking bullshit, made up stuff. Like I never have been into that.
All right, but wait. Is superheroes not also just all right? Anything can happen. It's bullshit, made up stuff. Is that not just the same thing though?
Yes, but at least it's fun.
Well, for you, that's fair.
Yeah,
I think
have
horror's
fun
fun
watching that kind of bullshit.
I have fun watching horror because I
That's
love
fair.
the tension. I love the suspense and the build up. It's a different. I have fun watching superhero too. It's obviously different. That's more adventure and action.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is suspense and thrill.
Yeah, I like those genres more.
And so I'm very excited for this. I think it looks really interesting. Like I said, the tone, I love this kind of bleak tone. Again, it's Midnight Mass vibes. If you're a horror fan, Apple TV, I do think they're going to have a slam dunk here with this one.
Yeah. And we got one more.
And then the third one, the last one I wanted to bring up is called Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. This one is starring Tatiana Maslany. It comes out in the end of May 20th. And it is about, I literally just learned about it today, a recently divorced mom who gets involved in a dangerous situation after a bad date. It looks kind of like something with like, she gets involved with like some sort of cam rip issue, like cam models, like things like that.
It looks like there's some comedy in it too, which
it's
fun.
like dark comedy. I think Tatiana Maslany is very underrated.
I think she's very charismatic. I like her in She-Hulk. She was in The Monkey, which I saw I think last year, 2 years ago, which I thought was great.
I saw her in a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal called Stronger. She's really good in that movie. I mean, I don't have much to say. Again, I just learned of this one today. The other ones I had known about a bit, but I saw the trailer earlier and I was like, this looks interesting. She looks like she's getting to do a lot here. She's going to work with a lot. Yeah. I think the plot is, we don't know a whole bunch, but again, she's like kind of getting, I like these stories where a character is getting, it's kind of like Backrooms a bit, but I like these stories where a character is getting further and further into a rabbit hole that they can't get out of.
Yeah,
that seems to be what we're getting here a little bit, so it looks really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably check this one out too.
At least check a couple episodes, see if it hooks you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Apple TV, man. I trust them, so obviously I'm gonna check. I probably will check out all of them, but they've never done me wrong. Everything I've watched from Apple TV, I haven't watched. I haven't seen Pluribus, I haven't seen Severance, but from everything that I've seen, I've loved it. It's always been like a 9 or 10 out of 10. So I
totally agree. I really think that these 3 shows are going to be 3 more in a long line of just incredible work from Apple TV to quickly rise to the status of one of the premier TV studios and streaming services right now. All 3 look really interesting. They're pretty different in different ways, but they involve a lot of actors that we like and that we've seen in other projects. And the trailers look good. So I just wanted to get some quick thoughts on them. And I highly recommend everyone check them out. I'm probably gonna watch all of them. So
yeah, I'm sure you will. I've been big on TV recently. I haven't been as big as on movies, but I've been bigger on TV recently.
I'm the opposite. I'm struggling with TV and we have so much coming out right now.
I know.
And I'm just not caught up.
We're going to get into our seesaw in a minute, but you need to watch Invincible season 4, episode 5. Like one of the best episodes.
I know it's Conquest is back. I know, and
need to watch it before you get the actual spoilers though. Like Conquest is back, but if you know what happens at the end of the episode, you need to
I don't know what happens at the end, but I know I've seen the spaghetti references, so I can put 2 and 2 together.
No, dude, I'm just saying that's the most uncomfortable I've been watching that show. Like legitimately being like, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I have to watch. I'm caught up. That's the next episode I have to watch.
All right,
so
get on it.
It's not my seesaw, so that's why I can say that. But.
Yeah, all right. So let's get into seesaw. You mind if I start? Yeah, I'll start it up. So today, we're filming this on Monday, April 6th. The first 2 episodes of Mall Shadowlord came out. I am so excited for this. I'm probably gonna watch it after we record this episode. We got a season 2 confirmed. I hope they do this forever. If it makes sense in the
Well,
story,
not forever. I mean,
forever, dude. If it makes sense in the story to connect Maul to how he is in Solo and then eventually how he is in Rebels, I would love that. I would love to see that connection. So Maul Shadow Lord came out today, and I'm very excited to watch it. Something I want to see. Something I saw is Star Wars Rebels. I it's a C and a saw for me because I started watching it a while ago. I watched the first 2 seasons and then I just stopped. I either got busy, forgot about it, blah blah blah, and I didn't love them. I hate the animation. It's just not the Clone Wars animation. The skinny lightsabers, the big noses and faces. Everybody looks so ugly. I hate it. But I think I need to start it up again because Maul's coming out. Maybe after I watch Maul, I'll finish Star Wars Rebels. The first 2 seasons just weren't enough for me, but everyone says that seasons 3 and 4 are awesome, and it's the only Star Wars project that I really haven't watched besides like the Acolyte. So I need to. I feel like I just need to finish it. But yeah, Star Wars themed seesaw for me today.
yeah, I
Maul
like that.
and Rebels.
I'm a big fan of Rebels. I mean, not to the extent of Clone Wars. And I certainly agree about the animation style. It doesn't really work for me as much, but the
No,
story is great. I
you
love the
finished
story
it.
of
You watched the
Rebels.
whole thing.
Pretty much, yeah. I've seen
I
like back in when we took our freshman year seminar class of the science of Star Wars is when I really got into Rebels.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, I never finished it, but I did make it a point to watch the important episodes. So, like, I watched the Maul versus Obi-Wan episode, and I watched the
yeah,
Vader versus Ahsoka episode. I think they're both in like season 3 and 4.
yeah.
Um, and I've watched like the Maul stuff in Rebels, but I've never actually watched 3 and 4 fully. I've probably maybe watched 3 episodes of each season, but 1 and 2 finished, so I got to get on that for sure.
Something I saw recently is a film that you watched a few months ago on Netflix called The Rip. I checked this one out. I'd been meaning to get around to it. It's actually the first 2026 streaming release that I've watched.
Oh
All
wow.
the other 2026 releases I'd seen so far were theatrical. Um, and I had mentioned this at the time, wanted to watch this because of the fact that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon negotiated bonuses per view count into the contracts of the production crew, which I thought was really cool of them. I thought the movie was fine. I think the beginning is terrible, but I think it becomes mildly interesting when you get into the rip itself.
Yeah.
Certainly the third act is the best part of the film.
After they explain the
Um,
rip 40 times to you.
it certainly is very like the amount of exposition that is spoon fed to you is ridiculous. I do not disagree with that. Um, but I thought that there was some interesting tension. I thought that especially the cast was great. You have Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, you have Teyana Taylor, you have Stephen Yeun.
Stephen Young's always so good.
You know what I mean? Are they wasted a bit? Sure, but they also like have their moments, especially Affleck and Damon. I think were great in this movie. It's a far cry from their Good Will Hunting days, but I don't know. I thought it was fine. I think for a streaming movie, it was decent. It's like a dad movie. You know what I mean?
Totally, yeah.
And so for that, I thought it was fine. I gave it like a 6 something out of 10. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was terrible.
Yeah.
And something I want to see soon. It's baseball season. Baseball's in full swing. The New York Yankees are the #1 record currently in the American League. Life is good in that regard. And so I like to usually watch a baseball movie at the start of the season every year. Last year I did Pride of the Yankees.
Mhm.
And this year I want to watch a movie called 8 Men Out. It's from 1988. It stars John Cusack, and Christopher Lloyd is actually in it, and Charlie Sheen and a few other people. And it's basically about the 1920 World Series when the White Sox threw the World Series, Shoeless Joe Jackson and all of that. I don't know if you even know what I'm talking about, but
Nope.
they threw the World Series, because they were paid to. And so they ended up being banned for life, these players. So it's about that story, and it looks really interesting, and I like the cast, and I love baseball, and I love sports films. I'm a sucker for them. So that
There
is
you go.
one that I want to check out soon.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. This was a fun episode as always. Remember to comment Bible study numbers. We love getting those numbers, and we're going to watch whatever the hell movie we picked. I don't even know
the shooting party.
The
I
shooting
don't check again too.
in 2 weeks. We're gonna watch and review that so check out for that. And happy 50th episode, man. This was a lot of fun.
This was a good one for our 50th, I think. We had a lot of good stuff this week.
Absolutely. Yeah. Follow us at Box Office Dynasty on all socials, everything, Spotify, all that stuff. Listen to the podcast, all that good stuff. We love doing this, and for 50 episodes, it's all been good shit.
Here is to the next 50 with you, Jack. I'm very excited for it. The Box Office Dynasty is it's such a great thing that we do. And here's to the next 50.
That's right, brother. Peace, guys.
Later.